Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Motivation to Change podcast. My name is Sean, and today's guest we have someone who probably one of the most motivational speakers in the UK. He talks about schools, colleges, corporate events. I've been a close friend for the last couple of years. Somebody that's helped me as well. Please welcome Cameron Parker. Yes.
I'm not. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to clap myself, but what's going on? How are you?
It's fine. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How about yourself? How's things? How's life?
Things are good. Did I see on social media the other day you was walking on glass or something?
Maybe. Yes. I was at a seminar, Mind Shift Experience. It was in Glasgow, and they asked me to do some magic. So I done some magic and stuff like that, and there were speakers there and whatever else. It was quite good. And then at the end, they done it was like a glass walk. So I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. I went.
Was it good?
It was good. It was good. Never lost a toe. So all things considered.
But yeah, for me, mate, everything is fantastic. Just it's been a very, very difficult 18 months with everything going on. Of course, majority of my business was going in somewhere, and obviously we've had to adapt and being hopefully building the company up to be one of the go-to companies in the UK. We've adapted quite well. Still been a difficult time. Still been struggling, but at the same time we're moving forwards. And obviously we've got a team around us now. Obviously, don't live at home with parents or anything like that. So the only way we could have got through it was to fight through it and make stuff happen. So yeah, it's been very, very stressful. Obviously when it first happened, I had an 8-month-old son. Now I've got another one since then as well. So family, business is growing. But yeah, it's been tough.
Fantastic. And we'll get into a bit of that. And people probably be wondering, is that what it is you actually do? But what I'll do first of all is, if it's okay with yourself, just to go back to your younger days. Where were you born? Your upbringing, stuff
Yeah.
like
Okay. So for me, I'm originally from even though I don't live there now, originally from a place called Gloucester. I had pretty amazing upbringing, I guess, until probably the age of about 8. Parents got divorced. It all got a bit nasty, got a bit horrible. My mum kicked me out when I was 11, and which ultimately meant I had to stay with my dad. However, being a single parent, obviously, he was working a lot. He was also going on a lot of his own kind of holidays, I guess, getting over the marriage and stuff as well, going through his own kind of problems and challenges. I spent most of my time at my nan's, my grandmother's. As far as school education, didn't really appreciate it, didn't really understand it, didn't really see what the point was. And then when I was 16, my nan, she passed away, which then caused me to I didn't really have many people around me anyway. Obviously, as I said, my dad was kind of doing his own thing. I just went off the rails really for a couple of years. Picked it up playing sport, American football. Went to college, turned my education around, heavily dyslexic, ADD. Went to uni, being the first in my family to ever graduate, and of course now doing what I'm doing now. So in short, I don't want to bore you with the details. That's my backlog.
Yeah. Well, I would like to dive maybe slightly into some of those bits.
Ask me whatever you want.
Yeah. So, you said when you were at school and stuff like that you weren't interested in school. Were you just mainly interested in socialising and the weekends and stuff like that? As a lot of young people are, they're not interested in like their education or what they actually want to do.
I guess so. Also, just more interested in just being a teenager. My kind of teenage life felt very complex as well. Obviously not having my mum around and stuff like that, and it was difficult, and I was getting bullied from my older two kind of stepbrothers. So yeah, it was a difficult time. But once again, you just get through it, and I had different things. I liked different sports, and um, I was quite sociable at that time, I guess. And it was also around the time of where social media started just to becoming a thing. I remember like a social media platform called Bebo, and then you had MSN and stuff like that. So that was when it was first coming in. So a lot of us was, you know, quite fascinated with that. So we'd go home straight away and just talk to our friends we'd just spoken to 10 minutes ago. But it really started that new era of where we're at now with social media, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. But time just flies, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
I don't even know.
yeah. I know. I was talking to my friend last week, talking about people and how you say, "Hi, what are you doing?" and then it would be like 30 minutes later, or you would wait to the next day because it was so slow back then. And you didn't know if anybody was on till like 30 minutes later, and they're like, oh, they're off. But now it's just instant.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny times, but that was the kind of the launch and the start of where we're at now with everything. So it's quite scary, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, I just want to touch on your passion, I would say, for American football. Where did that come from? Was that something you were really interested in, and where did it start from? Was it just sports, and then you just kind of dived into it?
When did that start? Always loved physical sport anyway. Um, and I've always, at that point anyway, liked America because we had some friends who lived over there, and that's why I support the team Green Bay because they're from Wisconsin, where Green Bay is. Um, and yeah, I was just fascinated with it, fascinated with rugby. Played all those different types of sports, liked motorbikes, and yeah, liked it all really. And it was a passion of mine, you know, just picking up on PlayStation 2 at the time, or PlayStation, yeah, I think it was PlayStation 2, playing Madden. And then I ended up joining one of the local teams, and yeah, really started as a passion. And this is where people need to be very careful, is because if you start turning this passion into something you do every single day, don't be surprised if it's no longer a passion. For me, I seen American football as then a tool to potentially get me to where I wanted to get to. So when I really started taking it really serious with the hopes that I was going to get a scholarship and go to America. And it was that goal and that dream which helped me get the complete highest grades possible in my college course. It helped me show it every day. It helped me win all these different awards, the coaches player, the players player, playing for GB, you name it, all of these different things. It was all driven by this one dream to go to America. And that was kind of the side kind of product of working hard. But by the end of it, I didn't get a scholarship, and not too long after, I pretty much stopped playing because it wasn't a passion anymore. It was work, and
Right.
to even the point when I was at uni, they had a GB uni team, and I think they was doing a World Cup or something in Mexico. I can't remember where it was. And my housemate said to me, he said, "Oh, can you come along to the trials with me? I want to do it." And I haven't played for a year and a half at this point. I went, showed up, done what I kind of did best at that point. It still wasn't, as tidy it was a year and a half before. But ultimately, my friend at the time, who I lived with, he didn't get in, but I did. So I was like, what's the point? I literally just sent him an email saying thank you for accepting and let me, be a part of the team. But I said I think you should give it to somebody who wants it and it's their dream to be a part of this team. So I gave my place to somebody else because it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore.
Right. Now, just the way you were talking about it, was American football your main passion, or was it a stepping stone to get to America? Was
Pretty
it?
much, I'd probably say I love the sport. I just love being engrossed in things, and I love being great at things. And obviously, there's always an ugly zone to something. So it's about trying to what is the challenges, what is the problem, being 100% honest with yourself, seeing where I'm currently at, and what I need to do to get to that next level. So I've always been pretty much an underdog in everything I do, but my goal is to, you know, outwork everybody and make it happen. But ultimately, yeah, it was to get to the next level, go to America, live a bit of that lifestyle, and yeah, I was just driven by it, you know. And then a couple of my other friends started getting scholarships. My best friend at the time, Samir, he got a scholarship the year before. And then that last 12 months is where I really put in the work to try and join him out there. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But no, I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, at this point in your life, you've played American football and you never got the scholarship. What, I'm guessing that would have been a crossroads for yourself of what do I do now?
It was what, sorry?
So at that point, it would have been a bit of a crossroads for you of, right, what do I do now?
It was a massive crossroads, but it's cliche. This is a good one. As cliche as it does sound, you know, there's that saying: if you shoot for the stars and miss, you land on clouds. And the thing is, when you work very, very hard, you develop characteristics which will then last for the test of time. So it's not even about the goal. It's not about the outcome. It's more about the output. What you're putting out there, what you're doing, you know, what energy are you putting into it? And that will come back tenfold because you develop and you grow and you improve as a person. So even though I didn't go to America, because I worked my hardest for 2 years, it ultimately put me in a better position to go on and do whatever I wanted to do. And at that point, I still applied for unis over here. So I had different offers and whatever to go over here and start playing ball and stuff like that. But I just went to my local uni and I done 1 year at the American football team there. Liked it, it was all right. And then I just had to focus on what I'm doing now, focus on my building and where I'm at now and what I'm doing moving forward. But that's the thing, right? So you have to ask yourself, as far as like character and skill and all of these things, it all takes time. So I've got a new office administrator in now, and obviously she said it's a lot of work. I truly believe, because I've put in the work, even if this doesn't work anymore, I could go on to another job and use the same skills and be successful in those different areas.
Yeah, and when I've just a bit of background, when I got right into like motivational stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I can't remember, but I remember I found I think it was the BBC thing you did.
Okay, yeah.
And I reached out to you and stuff like that, and we've been talking ever since. And I was kind of looking at all like some of your videos and all this, and especially your first kind of videos, and you would probably say the amount of hard work that you did. It was always like you were getting up really, really early, you were doing this, you were doing that. Was that ingrained in you for an early age, or was this? Did you realise that you have to be hardworking?
There's a difference. So I think, even though I don't have a relationship with my father anymore and we're not on good terms, there is definitely, you know, you always learn the good things and you also learn some of the bad things. You also learn what not to do, you know. And my dad was a very, very, very hardworking person where he always put work before his family. However, I still watched him work hard, which is still somewhat inspiring. However, in our industry, you've got to be very, very careful because there's so many liars. When I first started doing this, I ultimately was one of the liars, really. I was telling people what I think people wanted to hear. I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't really waking up early in the morning, or if I was, I'd be having a crash by 11 or 12 o'clock. So a lot of it was just what I felt like people wanted to hear, but the truth is a lot of it was rubbish. So it's just about putting your attention on your intention. What are you actually trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? And then go after that every single day, and just do it every single day. People think success, working hard, all of these different things is pretty, but it's not. Most of the time, people are successful because they do the stuff people don't want to do, and they do it consistently.
Yeah,
I'm not skilled. I'm not a smart person compared to many other people, but one thing that I've got is I'm stubborn and I'm consistent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what you said was spot on. Now, with the motivational stuff, how did you get into that? How did you decide that you wanted to be a speaker and become a motivational speaker? How did you get into that?
Mm, 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 mm. Well, the first step was I just got invited back to my old team. Um, and then I did it and I liked it and I wanted to do it more and more and more and impact. And I felt like I had a story to say. But there's a difference, right, to sharing there's a kind of a difference between inspiration and just mindset. Inspirational speakers are kind of people just all about themselves, but really I'm trying to get people from A to B or Z or wherever you want to go. For me, it's about actually where the results going to come, and that's really where I changed up what I do. A lot of people in our industry, it's all about me, 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 me. Of course, you got to talk a little bit about you, your story and stuff, but ultimately, that's why I don't really do big one-off talks anymore, because I want the impact and I want to deliver value every single time. And that's why we're booked from now until the end of December, fully booked nearly every single day. That's why customers keep coming back, because we deliver what we say we're going to deliver. We're not just saying things just to make the kids feel nice. Does that make sense? But yeah, it started then, and I got my first check up there in 2013. But even though that was my first one, then I didn't get paid again for about another 6 months, and it just takes time, and most people don't have that time or want to put in that time to make it happen. A lot of people who come in or want to do this is just driven by ego.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it does take a lot of hard work. And I'm guessing back then when you started, like when you think of motivational speakers, you think of Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, and stuff. But there weren't a lot of people doing it in the UK. I'm guessing they were actually like doing really well.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, and it was quite hard to listen to people from the UK kind of act just act how Tony Robbins acts, and that's what once again people think they need to do, and that's how they think they need to act. But really, what you need to do is have your own style, be true to yourself, share your own unique stories, and not be cliche. The thing about what I do compared to a lot of other people who work with adults, for example, other adult like coaches and stuff like that, is it's a bit different going into a school, because when you go into a school, majority of them don't want to be there. Majority of them see you at the front and they roll their eyes from the beginning. So what you're ultimately doing is trying to turn them around from the get-go. It's not like me running my own event and having 200 people turn up who want to be there. That's easy work. What's hard is talking or changing somebody who doesn't want to be changed, somebody who's struggling. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and a lot of
Yeah,
people don't have that behavioral control, that understanding of the school environment. It all comes with time and experience. So yeah.
yeah. And um, how did you decide to deliver mostly towards teenagers in schools? Because quite a lot is like either adults or maybe corporate events.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. You got a niche on a niche, and that's where you got to get. For me, I also had to get my money right, because if I wasn't earning no money long term, I couldn't help people. So I really needed to start to focus on the business side of things too, and really trying to work out that offering. And for me, it's about having a niche on a niche. If you're trying to be too wide with everything, I'm going to do over here, I specialize in all these different areas, then the chances are you're probably not going to get booked, or and you're not going to be great at one. So that's why I don't really work with adults anymore. At the moment, maybe when I'm older, but right now, who am I best working with? That's what I'm most passionate about is teenagers. So let's just focus on that and get really great at it.
yeah, no, definitely. And how long is it you've been doing this? About 8, 9 years,
I guess
something
probably
like
about
that?
10 years now.
10 years. That's quite and a long time, a long time. And that's probably the consistency as well. I just continually to do it as well, which is fantastic.
It's been tough. I mean, I put myself in a huge amount of debt, um, just to get to this point. But now we're coming up. We're coming out. We're feeling good.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I just want to quickly talk that I know you've got your own family now, and how did that start? Because I know I'd probably say your girl, but she I'd probably say stepdaughter, but you don't fully classify her as a stepdaughter. How did that relationship?
Great
Um,
question. So yeah, my wife now, obviously she had a daughter previously. So when I came into her life, she was just coming up to about 2, I guess. And obviously, really, she was just my best friend, Lola. That is not my wife. And I always, yeah, and I mean, yeah, Lola is just a gift, a gift from whoever God. She just at 23, when most people said you shouldn't, be in that position. It was the best thing what could ever happen to me, and just having somebody and just going home, going back to, not going back to my flat on my freezing cold flat on my own, and going back to a family, really had a positive impact. Obviously, sometimes it would affect work, as far as you've got to spend time with your family, you can't just work, work, work. And of course, then yeah, we got married, and then I've got another 2 sons now as well. So, I mean, family is everything. I know people say it, but genuinely, family is everything. When I'm working, I'm thinking about my family. When I'm with my family, I'm not thinking about work. It's when
yeah, and
I've noticed, for me, that's always just been my goal. Um, is to have a family. Bottom line.
yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And
How many kids do you have? Just Is it just
just
one?
the one, just the one. She's 10. So we had this morning. The whole village had a power cut, and she was off school for about an hour, but she was dying to get to school. So it was a bit of a shock.
Yeah, but
Um,
you live far up north, don't you?
yeah, so
You basically live in Greenland.
uh, yeah, not too far. It's like Glasgow, but it's like an hour down for Glasgow. So it's kind of near kind of Castle Douglas and stuff like that. So I was born in Glasgow, and then just life events happened, and I moved when I was 9 to a village. So it was a bit of a strange change, but there you go. Um, and yeah, so how do you work on your life balance? Because a lot of people I probably struggle if they're going after something and they need to put in all the hours, but they've got these responsibilities, and sometimes like the other partner might not get it, stuff like that. How do you work out your balance, or is it just you just go with it and it works out?
It's hard for me because every day is different. I don't really have a routine, or I don't really have a schedule, so I can't really comment too much. It's always going to be a battle. It's always going to be a challenge, and it's always going to be difficult. But when you have communication, ultimately, you can fix it if you want to fix it. And it's just about being honest and being super self-aware. But also, once again, remember what I said about putting your attention on your intention. I'm not looking to be on the road every single day moving forward, saying 3 years from now. So it's about trying to build that up from now. And it's an empire. And for me to have my wife, for me to have my kids, that's a part of the empire that I want to build. So my wife is just as important in this piece of what we're trying to be than I am, if not more important. Um, yeah, she is. She got the most difficult job of them all. So for me, it's about understanding, and that's about communication and working together. Of course, we still fall out sometimes, have arguments. Of course, it's never going to be easy, but it's not really a life partner. It's about a growth partner, and you grow together.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now things are looking well. You're consistently busy. All the good things. And you got, say if I'm wrong, but you got married. Was it 2019?
I got married 2018, I think.
Or 2018. Yeah, so you got married, I think. Check the date. Don't tell. And then March 2020, nothing. How did that impact you?
Well, I wasn't in a great place before we went into lockdown anyway. I was struggling a little bit for myself. However, the first year, 2020, wasn't too bad. It was obviously tough, but it was like, it was okay. It was all right. People moved, people adapted. It was this year from January to kind of April where it hit us the hardest. So we just moved into our new house, spent loads of money on new furniture, you name it. But I was expecting to be on the road every day. And I was expecting to have the best kind of year ever financially. And then all of a sudden I went on a run trying to run off Christmas dinner, and it was on that, I think, Monday night or something. All Christmas holidays, they were saying schools are going back. I mean, my daughter went back for a day, but then it was on that one night I went on a run, came back, and obviously I came back and Sam said that we've gone back into lockdown, but not only are we back in lockdown, schools are also shut.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it hit everybody. Nobody expected anything. So literally for 3-4 months, we lost a significant amount of money, which obviously wasn't good because it kept the ball rolling, and it was just tough. Went in debt, more debt, you name, just to survive it. Because that's what we had to do to survive it, because I know if we came out the other end, then we'd be in a better position. And but yeah, it was tough. I mean, when she told me that, I just broke down and cried straight away. It just hit me hard. It was a bit different, actually. It was hard because it was like, oh no, what are we gonna do financially, really? But then at the same time, it was like, oh, I can kind of relax now because I'm gonna be at home for 3 months.
Yeah, the last almost 2 years, it feels, it's been up and down. It's just been crazy. And like, you're down in England, I'm in Scotland, and it's quite different because I believe you don't have.
Euros?
Sorry.
How did Scotland do in the Euros?
All right. I'll just wait there. we were in the Euros, so I think rugby's a strong team than football. So, but I believe in England you don't have to wear face masks now. Is that like if you have to?
No, you don't have to. It's not compulsory. No.
Yeah, it's compulsory up here. Unfortunately, we have to go to shops.
Most people are still. I mean, most people are still wearing them in shops, and nothing's really changed. And obviously, everyone's getting vaccinated and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I've got actually a member of staff who's been off the last couple of weeks because she's had COVID, and now her kids got it, and her partner's had it, and they've been really hard. So it just kind of brought her back home a little bit. How dangerous it can be. Yeah.
It's just been such a crazy ride. I remember, just to make it laugh, my 30th was last year, 27th of March, and the week before it, planning going out to the pub and go and do something with my friends and whatever else, and the night before it, Boris Johnson closes all restaurants and stuff. And that was terrible. And I thought, all right, okay, we'll have a wee get together in the house.
Do you not have a different government up there, though?
What?
Do you not have a different government up in Scotland?
Well, at the start, it was like a national lockdown. So it was like the full of the UK. So we had to abide by it as well. But we've got Nicola Sturgeon. So ours, as the time went on, it sort of started changing, but at the very start it was the full of the UK, and I remember I said, oh well, we'll just have a wee get together, we'll get about 5-10 people, that should be fine. Got to the Monday and we were on lockdown and we couldn't have anybody at the house, so I sat 30th birthday party. Oh, it was great, but this year was better, so But yeah, it's been crazy. But things are starting to pick up. How's things going business wise and just even life in general at the moment with everything that's kind of going on? Hopefully, this should be it, and it's
Amazing. So obviously, I'm going to be kind of pushing forward on my podcast again from September. Also, we've pretty much got a full diary from now until Christmas at least. And then we're also launching the online academy, which I think I've discussed about before, but I've never really been proud of what we've launched before, so I've never really pushed it. But now we've got this offer in 2 schools, which is exactly what we want it to be. It's live lessons. It's a wide range of different products. Yeah, so it's amazing, and that's why we've got team members here now, just working on it, ready for proper launch in 2 weeks or so. So that's really exciting. It's pretty stressful at the same time because I'm trying to cram literally everything, and I feel sorry for my PA next to me. She's got to try and learn my whole brain in a couple of weeks. Pretty. She just said hard, bless her. But yeah, it's still going to take time, and for us to dreams to reality to grow, it was the necessary step because you got your admin in a business, but then you also got you got to focus on your income, and you also got to focus on your impact too. And it's about trying to get the balance right. And I think like any business, right, you got to ask yourself, are you working on the business or are you working in the business? And if you're working too much in the business, then your business simply won't grow, and eventually it will kind of burn out, and you'll burn out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's I kind of always keep saying that to myself because I'm a magician and
that's why I agreed to do today, because even when you first reached out to me and you was talking about different projects and different stuff, and you took the motivation side, that's actually why I got respect for you, because I don't even know when those first messages happened. It was quite a long time ago now, and you're still pursuing it, you're still pushing forward with it, and that says a lot about you and your character. Now a lot of people reach out to me and say, Cameron, I want to do what you do and this and that. And normally I say I can jump on a quick call whilst I'm driving, if I'm driving somewhere, but it's going to cost you. And the reason why I do that is because then you eliminate the people who are serious and who's not. Because so many people I've wasted time with giving them advice, they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I remember we had a conversation, and you were in the car, and we had a talk. If you remember, and I remember the main piece of advice you said to me was, and this was me saying I wanted to do some talks and stuff like that. And you basically said, just do it. And you said, I did. You said, I always remember she said, I want you to get, I think it was at least 3 bookings.
Yeah, I remember it now. And said,
2 weeks.
Do it to at least show me that you're serious. And you actually did, and you even sent me.
It was that night. So, thank you very much. That was motivation for you.
But you have to, right? Because, and let's be honest, when you first start doing it, you're going to be crap.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, you're going to be crap, and the only way you can get better is, I think I said something the other day, literally, I don't know, I think I've seen it on Facebook or something, and I can't remember who it was asked to, but it says, how do you become successful? And it was like, make good decisions. How do you make good decisions? Experience. How do you get experience? By making bad decisions. You know what I mean? So it's about having that, making bad decisions, even for me, about finding my niche, about who do I like to talk to most, who do I like to work with most. And you can only get that by experience. You can only grow your confidence by experience. You can't just go into a karate gym and be a black belt. You've got to start by being nervous. You've got to start by being all of these different things. Like, people talk about the impostor syndrome, right? Something like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now,
but what is that? What does that even mean? Was that just something somebody's made up and to identify themselves as, so then they can't take action? Do you mean you're just worried? Because if you're just worried, guess what? That's normal. you think you're just scared? Is it because you're scared? Because if you are scared, guess what? When you do anything new, that's normal. You don't need to Google it. You're human.
Yeah, it's a step. I think that's probably, and I was going to say what would be one of the main advice, and I probably says that way, if you want to ever do something, just do it, because even when you get nervous and scared, and I'm guessing when you're doing your first couple of talks, you weren't good.
I still get nervous now. I still don't like being stood at the front of the hall when a teacher introduces me and everybody's just staring at me before I even talk. When I start talking, I'm not too bad, but that first kind of initial 5 minutes when everyone's walking in, looking at you, I hate it. But the only way you can do it is by doing it.
Yeah.
You can improve is by doing it. You can't vision board your way to success.
Yeah, no, it's like something you have to go through. I remember my first magic gig. My hands were shaking and everything, and I went to go to the first table, and I walked straight to the toilet. And I finally went up, and it just went wrong and stuff like that, and it was really terrible. But I was really happy with myself to actually do it.
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, but then after a gig, after time, you get better, you get experience. So that's what it's all about. Definitely. Now, what's next for you? So at this point, you're building an online. You're starting to. We're coming out of lockdown. Things are starting to grow back up. What's the future for you?
I know what the future is going to be. I just got to figure out whether I want to share it or not. Next year, I mean, I got. We talked about it last. Can't say too much, but a couple of things we got coming. I'm definitely going to launch a book. I'm definitely going to have a book next year. 100%. Been talking about it for a long time. It's just not been a priority really. Hopefully, 300 schools onto our academy. I want to run my own event next year. I don't want to run loads of events. I just want to run my own one event next year, a big one. And then I've also got a fitness goal. When is this going to go out?
So probably September.
It's going to go out in September.
It's the next couple of weeks, yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. So I'll probably let everybody know before then. But I've also signed up to an Ironman. 2 point something mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then a marathon as well. So my office administrator over there is looking at me like, what an idiot. He has every right to think that, because but that's what's next, at least short term.
That's amazing, and good luck.
Yeah, tell me it's amazing once I do all of that next year.
Okay, I will. I'll set a reminder. Right, so I will. In fact, I will just ask, even if there's maybe anything else, but with everything that you have said, what would be the main advice towards change?
The main advice to change is that's a great question. We overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 10 years. People think that change happens overnight, but I don't really believe that. I think it takes a huge amount of time to completely change. So I'll be honest, I was playing for Great Britain at the time and still doing things I shouldn't be doing, things which would have got me in a lot of trouble. But I was still on that journey, and then it doesn't change overnight, I don't think. In some cases it might for some people, but you've got to be patient, because once again, when you're trying to change your beliefs, you're trying to change your values, you're trying to change your work ethic, your character, all of these different things, your skill level, it takes time. And that's what people need to understand.
Fantastic. Now I'll just finish off with I thought I wanted to do something to end it, and I know I've watched quite a lot of your podcasts, and I know you do something similar to the end, and I thought I want to do something but I want to obviously change it. So, a wee bit of fun, right? So, if you were to go out at a restaurant or a city or whatever and sit down with 3 people, alive or dead, who would they be? What would you eat? And where would it be?
So I've just got to pick one person.
So 3 people. So 3 people you want to sit down with. Who would they 3 people be? What meal would you have? And where would it be? It could be in a restaurant, it could be in a place, it could be anywhere.
First one would be my nan. And yeah, unfortunately, I'd have to bring her back from the dead just to make me beans on toast with cheese. Because nobody makes it better than her, and it would have to be at her house just to smell her house again and stuff like that. So definitely my nan. Number 2, I don't really know, because I don't really focus on somebody like, I guess it's quite I don't know.
You could even do it as you and your nan.
Yeah, I think that would just be just a go-to. I'm not too sure whether I get too excited about seeing anybody else, because if you have heroes and if you met them, you'd probably just be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I'd rather do the good stuff.
Definitely.
If we ever do a part 2, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, no problem. We never know, we might have an episode 2 in this, maybe.
Let's go.
Fingers crossed. Well, Cameron, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure getting you on here. Are there any last words you would like to say?
Remember, in life, right, you can either have excuses or results. You got excuses on this table, or you got results on that table. You can sit on one of the tables, but you can't sit on both. Remember that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Cameron. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in to Motivation to Change podcast. My name's Sean. Motivation to Change.
Energy, man. Come on.
Yes. Motivation to Change.
There you go.
And I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
Is it T-O or is it 2?
2.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my gig.
Join in the clan. Take care, guys.